All right, what's going on? We recorded something last week, but some shit happened. We're redoing episode 3. It was an Isekai episode, but after listening to it, we revamped it because that shit was awful. I didn't even want to listen to it. Welcome, my name's Jose, aka Isano Monjo, and this is Isano's Den of Utakus. If you've listened to the first 2 episodes, you realize that the name has changed. That's because I was stepping on other people's toes. It took us like forever to come up with this name. So yeah, no more. We crashed our car. Our braking system didn't go off. Really sad. So this is the name of the show now, but it's essentially the same thing. Today we have a special topic for you guys today. It'll be Isekai. We'll have some hot take. But before that, you guys texted me yesterday asking me if I wanted to go to Magic the Gathering, but you know me, I have to dedicate my life to a soulless corporation. But did you guys see this? After 6 years, Magic the Gathering manga with the title Too Weird to Even Fit in this headline is finally getting an English release. It's called Destroy All Humans. They Can't Be Regenerated, a Magic the Gathering manga. Do you guys know that the title is a reference? Are you guys aware of that? That's what this article told me.
What's it a reference?
Apparently, it's a reference to a card called "Destroy All Humans," and part of the information is they can't be regenerated.
Oh, that's just Wrathagod. Wrathagods destroy all creatures. They can't. It used to be bury all creatures, and bury meant they can't be regenerated.
Oh, is that what Barry actually meant?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was an old evergreen text.
I have an old ass card that says like bury target creature.
Yeah, so like you know how most of the trolls in Magic have regenerator?
Yeah.
Or you can regenerate them for paying a cost, so you wouldn't be able to regenerate those trolls even if they got Wrathagodded.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So I was actually looking at this art and I was thinking like, hey, this art kind of looks pretty familiar. And it took me a minute to realize that it looks a lot like the if you take a look at this, it looks a lot like Call of the Night, but I don't think it is. Artist is Takamura Yokota. So I mean
Takayumi Yokota.
Again with my mispronunciation, but yes. I mean, is this something you guys would even pick up? I know you, Baker.
If it's actually getting an English release, yeah. I mean, I'll read it.
What I have multiple questions. Is it about playing the game, or is it about?
It's about playing the game. So you see this character right here. She's number 1 at everything. This dude is number 2 at everything. He's gloomy, sucks, and you know that trope. She's popular, great at everything, that trope, and then boom, they both play Magic. What's gonna happen? Are sparks gonna fly? I don't know.
So I actually saw people talking about this on Twitter a few days ago. Oh, of course I did.
That's his source, Twitter.
And
sorry, X.
No, it is
X?
Twitter.
Still Twitter.
No.
Still the tweeter.
But I actually did see that, and apparently this manga has been running, I think, since 2018 or something like that, which is insane. And people were just like, "Why hasn't anyone been talking about this?"
6 years.
I feel like that speaks volumes about the quality of this.
It might.
But I mean, if it's been going on for 6 years, there has to be something there, right?
Okay, so like, hear me out, right?
Sure.
Let's go.
Like, I think this format works for Yu-Gi-Oh! Quite well because, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards have very little story connecting them together besides, like, maybe specific archetypes.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, like, background universe going on.
But I feel like Magic
I'm going to sit back. You guys talk.
I feel like Magic has a very connected universe, and most of, like, what you would want to see in an anime or a manga about Magic would be the universe, not people playing the game.
See, you'd think that you would. And with, like, all the different events that happen in the story of Magic, you'd think maybe, oh, hey, people would want to see this actually going on, right?
I also have a Doomer take for you on this one.
Oh, you do?
Wizards of the Coast is running itself into the ground.
That's what
maybe this is
say.
the last-ditch effort to try and save it.
I'm pretty sure every time we bring up Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, we just go, man, can't wait till they burn themselves into the ground.
I mean, they fired their CEO recently, so she was making poor decisions. Like, okay, you're going to have to do some searching, but Jose, go to Google and type in new secret layer. I gotta show you this, Salem. I saw this and I was like, this isn't real.
This is the Hatsune Miku stuff.
No, this is worse.
What do you mean worse?
What do you mean worse? Well,
Yes.
we're about to see. Go to images for me.
Okay.
Got
now explain why I looked this up.
Okay, so Secret Lair is a release of a set of cards that have alternate artwork and are in foil. Usually you pay like a premium price. Okay.
Is that Ryu?
Looks like it.
Yeah, these are Capcom characters. Oh my god, what the fuck?
That means that happened at a certain point, and neither of us were even aware that it happened.
Is this one of the ones you're talking about? Scarab God?
Oh, yeah, no, Wait, what? That's Scarab God?
Yo,
Apparently.
Salem's
What is
into
going
it.
on?
Did you not see that he's raving at the fucking...
I hate it.
Okay.
And, dude, Scarab God looks so fucking cool, and then they just do that, and it's just like, why?
I mean, I see what the art style is. Like, it's an art style thing.
Okay,
Go,
I
go
don't
back
like
up
it.
to the top and go back to all. Because it's got to be like a news story or something.
okay, let's look at their official Twitter.
Okay, if we can't find it, then I'll just...
Is it this?
No.
Is it a oh, sorry, this is a winner drop.
Those look fine.
If we can't find it, I'll just explain it. Salem, what if I told you it's goblins?
Uh-huh.
The secret layer goblins. But what if they were thirst trap, Instagram/TikTok card with a comment section?
You're lying to me.
No, I'm not.
That's
These
not
are real.
That's not real.
No, it is.
Hold on.
Okay,
let's-
okay, fine. You know what? I need some tangible proof, okay?
I will
Hatsune
look.
Miku, as weird as that collab is, I'll believe it because I've seen various other shit. And
Hatsune Miku will collab with anyone.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But what they did the fucking Fallout shit. They did like the call it not expanded universe, but you know. What I'm
Hold
thinking
on.
of?
I'm gonna pull up a Reddit thread.
No, don't do
Prove
that.
my humanity.
Help making a thirsty deck. Is that what that was? Oh, Oko. Okay.
Oko, Thief
Yeah, I
of
mean he's a
Crowns.
good-looking guy.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Reddit thread did not have what I'm looking for.
I gotta find
What
this
you
somewhere.
weren't looking for? How to make a thirsty deck?
If you put on like Magic the Gathering, Thirst Trap,
Go.
VTuber,
No, probably like
What Thirst Trap Goblin or something like you're
just
saying?
type in secret layer goblins.
all right, that's not what we got.
I
Willem
don't think we're looking
Driftbow.
for Norman Osborn Thirst Trap.
You might not be, but I am.
Oh, gotta save that for later.
You might have gotten baited. Let's see. I mean, is this what you were looking for?
Grim, this doesn't look like Thirst Trap Goblins.
Secret Lair 2024.
Oh, there's Hatsune Miku.
Oh, you
Oh
got-
my god.
Yeah,
Goblin Graham.
I told you.
Oh,
Now read the comments on the first one there.
You're so hot. Fight me, lol. Skip leg day again. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag
Like I didn't want
gross.
this to be real.
Sweet filter. Hashtag cob mob.
This is the cringiest shit I've ever seen.
Like this is what I'm saying when Wizards is running magic into the ground.
What are we doing here? What?
That's a great question.
What's going on?
Do you know
Brash-
the answer?
Brash
I hope they're
Taunter,
okay.
Goblin Chieftain, Goblin Ringleader,
Yeah, I mean-
Goblin Welder.
Yeah, I
Mog.
mean those are just
You know what?
like, you know,
These are terrible, but I want more of these.
Mog _ War Marshal. Ugh.
That's Mog at _ War Marshal.
Hey, Magic wants me. We use necessary cookies to allow our site to function correctly. No thanks. You can't use my cookies.
I don't get it.
What don't you understand?
Oh, well, I mean, if it makes sense to you, feel free to explain, Schirm. I'm
I just had to. You had to know.
Yeah,
I
the
have-
pricing for the
Thanks, I
non-foil
hate
is $29.99 and rainbow foil is $39.99.
Now that outlaw. that
Oh,
looks
there's
good.
Tezzeret.
See, these look kind of cool. They kind of give you a 1950s throwback to comic book covers. These are pretty sick. Also, since our audio was kind of like useless last week, I do want to bring up the fact that we did talk about the Hatsune Miku drop as well.
They look awful.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
hated them.
They pretty much look bad. There's only like one or two that I
Like Miku Spark doesn't even look like Miku. It's
I like it though. Like just
well,
as a
maybe it's one of her
design.
1,000 variations.
The Miku Spark and the Harmonized one.
Look at Miku the
Yeah,
Renowned.
Like Harmonize and Inspiring Vantage, I'm fine with those arts, but everything else, I'm not digging.
I would
Yeah.
get Miku Lost but Seeing because I love that card.
I don't like this. I also like this art style is fine, but for it being Hatsune Miku, I would not think that's Hatsune Miku. And
Also, her wings are coming out the side of like
Oh,
her
yeah.
ass or something
you
like
pointed
that.
that out.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will draw you up a sketch design and be like, "No, this is actually how they're supposed to look."
If people want to spend their time doing that, that's fine.
Well, they will. So,
Still doesn't look good.
what do you guys think? You gonna read this manga? You gonna get the Goblin Thirst Traps? You gonna get Hatsune Miku with magic? Like, what are we thinking?
No
I'll
to
read
all.
the manga.
No to all.
No to all.
No to
I
all
mean,
from
the
Schirm.
if the manga is them playing Magic the Gathering, there's.
It's just gonna be a romance. Like,
I feel like
You know the villain's going to be playing a blue deck.
I feel like okay. Think about it this way.
Yeah.
Think if it was Pokemon, but instead of like having actual Pokemon, it's like, hey, we're just playing the Pokemon TCG.
I'm sure like
Um,
they've thought I'm sure like the Pokemon company has gone to anime production houses and been like, can you maybe try and think of an anime like this? And no one's come up with anything good yet. So
Well, we'll just see. I mean, maybe something about the manga will hit me, but yeah, in all seriousness, if they are just playing their card game, it's going to be pretty bland.
Well,
God forbid we make a manga about the actual universe.
According to this Game
take
Radar's article, this is supposed to be in the early days of Magic, so like that's why. So I mean, I might read the manga. I haven't gotten into Magic, like playing it. I just buy the cards because I think they look nice. I tell this to Schirm all the time. Like, I think they just look nice. It's that Marge Simpson meme. I think they're neat. That's pretty much it for me. All right, so we've all watched Mad Max featuring Furiosa, but did you know that this new prequel with Anya Taylor-Joy was supposed to be an anime?
What studio would have done it?
There was no studio attached because at the time he had gotten both scripts done for the prequel and the Mad Max movie, but they hadn't even started production like on the actual Mad Max movie. So what he was planning to do was he was planning to direct Mad Max Fury Road and then make a Furiosa anime. But apparently the anime didn't get further into development because they just, after the success of Mad Max Fury Road, they were like, let's do the live action prequel. And they had to recast Charlize Theron because, you know, as beautiful as she is old. Yes. I mean, she's still gorgeous for an old lady.
She looks nice, but, you know, again, if it's a prequel, makeup and stuff can only do so much.
That's true. Now, we've seen the trailers. We've seen what's coming. We gonna go see Fury Road? I think I asked that earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to see the movie.
You guys like Chris Hemsworth and his little teddy bear?
No.
Apparently, this is the only carryover from that prequel.
I love the beard. It looks great, but no, I don't like the teddy bear.
Apparently, this teddy bear is like one of the only carryovers from that like original character designs by this Mahiro Madea. So this guy has worked on things like Evangelion, Kill la Kill, in various roles. Like he's not just an artist. Like he'll do lots of different things. So, but yeah, this guy was like working with George Miller, like the George Miller, you know, director of Mad Max 1, Mad Max 2, Happy Feet, Babe Pig in the City 2.
Anyway.
You know, portfolio that really resonates with me. But yeah, this is like one of the only character designs. You guys don't like the teddy bear?
No.
I think it's neat. Once again, it's neat.
Okay.
Well, speaking of, so one guy that got influenced by Western media is the guy for the, how do you say this? Karubachi?
Kagurabachi, yeah.
I know you guys don't read manga like I do, but...
I've seen the memes, but yeah, I haven't read it.
Like, this is one I have in my, like, set to read, but then I just don't read it or pick it up. But apparently this dude was heavily inspired by things like John Wick, Kill la Kill. Apparently, he was working like a normal office job, but when COVID hit, he was like, he was in college courses shifted to an online format, giving him more time to practice illustration as a comic book storyteller. So he was like, you know what? Now that classes are online and I don't have to be in class and I have more free time, I'm just going to practice drawing. And look at this. Pretty sick.
No, the art looks great. It's just that, like, no one has ever really talked about the plot, at least from what I've seen. Have y'all seen the fucking meme where it's the dude with his sword and they would just, like, plant different people's faces on him?
I have. I mean, scarcely, but I have seen it. He did cite, though, Naruto as one of his inspirations, which I was like, oh. But he likes Marvel superheroes. He likes other Western media. He quoted Quentin Tarantino. Like, he was talking about Tarantino quite a bit. So this guy is what we are to Japan. Like, we like Japan. This dude likes America because he's like, yo, America's pretty violent. I like that shit. And he liked Ghost of Tsushima. People really out here, you know what I'm saying? They out here really like, yo, America's got it. Like, we kind of think of like America's kind of like the West has played out all of its tropes, but then these guys come around like, oh no, I was inspired by Western cinema and Western media. Like, that makes me take a step back, you know?
It's kind of like how like Christian imagery and stuff like that can be used in anime and manga. Like, just some people find it really fascinating, like Western type stuff, and they want to use it. Some of them, I believe I've read, like, just use it because they thought it looked cool. You know?
For sure. I mean, this is one that looks cool, but like no one's raving about the story or anything. I know that in here he has stated like, I'm not the best storyteller, but I'm working on it. But I mean, if this gets an anime within the next 2 years, then we know it's like hit its stride. And if it doesn't get canceled anytime soon, because that's usually what happens. If it gets canceled, that means it wasn't doing well. Now, aside from that, our friend Tristan, apparently there was a celebration of Aitasha cars over in Tokyo a while back. What do you guys think of this?
Oh, good God.
What do you guys think of this? Like, do you guys like Aitasha? I don't really care for it.
I think it looks really cool. There's fucking Subaru from Hololive.
Look up the anime Donald Trump truck. right now.
is there?
You got to see this. If you haven't
I'm
seen
sorry,
it,
the Donald Trump truck.
just look up anime Donald Trump truck. This man's spent so much money just to piss off everyone. Look up anime girl Donald.
Oh, you want me to put anime girl Donald Trump?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Google ain't
Just
pulling
a
up.
dude with a giant Ford F-150 lifted off the ground with like blonde hair, bikini, like America bikini, wearing a MAGA hat with two guns. It was pretty incredible when I saw it. And it wasn't like a picture. This man had a video where he was walking around and I was like, all right.
Okay, well.
Anyway.
Yeah, cannot find this picture, but if you find it, send it to me and I'll make that the thumbnail. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Itasha. I know our friend Tristan wanted to like coat his car in Itasha. I remember one time he said he saw a girl working at one of the McDonald's. The car was fully decked out in Itasha, but he thought it might have been their boyfriend.
I think this stuff's great. I mean, don't know what the price point is to get some of this shit done.
I mean, that's a Mercedes right there, fully decked out in Itasha. Like, what do you think?
If I had the money for it, I would probably do it.
Really? You would?
Absolutely.
Is there a specific car you'd have in mind? Or is it just like the car you
like
got
a
now?
350Z probably.
I don't know what that is. I'm not a car guy. I can't even change my own brake pads right now. They're really squeaking. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because it's really funny. Like they just had a huge gathering for a celebration of Itasha cars this weekend, so it was really funny. Now, what do you guys think of Megan Thee Stallion?
She's okay.
Do you like this Boa Hancock cosplay that I tried to look and find, but this is not an actual cosplay? She just kind of made herself look like the Boa Hancock hair.
That's not a Boa Hancock cosplay.
I wouldn't think Boa Hancock.
Nope.
Exactly.
Got some tig old bitties though.
I watched. Okay, so like she's releasing, I think, a new project, and I watched her latest music video. It was super cringe.
God, the tagline on this article is awful.
The rapper is lethal like a street fighter on her latest release.
Lethal like a street fighter.
Yeah, if you watch the music video, this would make sense, but it was so cringe. I honestly couldn't even like hear the music because I was just watching these visuals and I was like,
that header was written by a guy that doesn't understand there's a difference between video games and anime.
Okay,
What do you mean, Schirm? They're not the same thing?
This guy's name is Mancarp Contest.
Anyway.
Whatever his fucking... Do you really think this is a guy who's listening to rap music?
No, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't even understand the difference between anime and fucking video games.
Sorry, it's still lethal like a street fighter is killing me. I'm sorry.
Lethal like a fucking street fighter.
Look up Zelina Vega when she came out as jury that one time at the Royal Rumble. That was hot.
Yo, okay.
So keep in mind, Salem, this was the first WWE event I watched. She came out as jury. I was like, I'm in love with her. And then she came out in a regular attire, and I'm like, never mind.
I see.
Put it back.
You got spoiled right off the bat.
Yeah.
Let's see. She's got Jury. She's got Vega. She's got... Which one is that? Madara? I don't know who this is.
Oh, what? Is she actually... She is wearing the fucking Madara armor.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Do you like that? Is that up your alley?
Pull up that picture of the Stardom wrestlers.
I mean, the Vega is doing it for me.
Oh, yeah. You told me about this. Let's see. One Piece.
Straw Hats. One Piece, yeah, should come up. This was like one of the biggest factions at the time. They just came out dressed as One Piece characters.
There we go.
Yo, okay.
You got Chopper, you got Nami, you got Zoro, you got Sanji. You see how she's just holding a fucking frying pan right there?
Yeah, Sanji's the cook. Let him cook. Get him in the kitchen.
I like this one. Disney princesses.
Put him in the kitchen. Dude, Stardom seems like such a cool thing, and I wish I could get into it. Like, I just don't even know where to start.
But is it boring?
I don't understand.
Is the wrestling any more entertaining than American wrestling?
I mean, you have to understand American wrestling is like very toned down from like the rest of the world. Like even AEW.
I was going to say, like, I watch Lucha Libre sometimes because they just do some crazy bombastic shit. Like, sometimes a dude will just get on top of the ring and then he'll do, like, a triple somersault before, like, hitting a 360 on a skateboard or some bullshit.
Like I feel like I've seen suplexes into pulling a gun on the other wrestler.
What?
Yeah, just the fucking dumbest shit you could imagine.
See,
they go, like, what I've always said about AEW, the only thing I like is, like, their wrestling feels real, but their stories are awful in comparison to the WWE.
So an ex-coworker of mine literally told me the same thing. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the wrestling is fine,
I-
but like the storylines just aren't really there.
I want the WWE storyline with AEW wrestling or any other like wrestling organizations wrestling, because man, watching the WWE sometimes it is so tame. Like, did I ever tell you about the okay, so you know Dean Ambrose, aka
of course.
John Moxley in AEW.
Yeah.
He had a fight with Kenny Omega.
Mhm.
It was like Kenny Omega's return. It was like just started beating the shit out of him with a barbed wire wrap chair.
Okay. Oh, wait. A barbed wire wrapped chair?
Yeah. Like a steel chair wrapped in barbed wire. And then I think Kenny Omega picked him up for the One Wing Angel into a bed of tacks.
Oh.
It was a good match.
Okay, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay. But Stardom, you said you just don't really know where to start with.
Yeah,
them.
like where do I even start? Like I'd probably have to go on some Japanese websites to download some old VODs or
But
something.
Stardom
Mm.
is just like women's wrestling in Japan, right?
Yeah,
Is
it's just
really
an
it?
all-female league.
Is there storylines, do you know, or like?
Oh yeah.
there
Oh.
probably is.
That's why I always recommend that one video by Super Eye Patch Wolf. I think it's called The Unreality of Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Or it's one of them where he talks at length about Stardom for like 20 minutes. Just like a specific No, I think it was the villains in wrestling where he just talks about like this one villain from Stardom.
Oh yeah, no, that one I watched. Yeah, he was going in depth about like the Japanese wrestling side, and he was talking about the villains.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I brought up Megan Thee Stallion, you guys know she like presented one of the awards was it this year?
At the Crunchyroll Awards, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys know that she presented this year. She's like come out and been like, I love my hero, cosplayed as Miracle. So people know that she likes anime. She's not a huge otaku, but like sure, whatever. But this music video that she came out with just today or yesterday, when we're recording this, 5/11, it was pretty terrible. It was awful. I didn't like it. I couldn't even listen to the music, and I'm a big Megan fan. So like I was like not down for it. So I don't think I can listen to this Boa song without reliving that terrible music video.
This cosplay is awesome.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But,
I mean,
but she's lethal like a Street Fighter. I don't know why you guys are hating on
she
her.
got the hair right, but this cosplay is not Boa Hancock. to
Is
me.
she wearing the earrings at least? Like she's wearing like glass versions of Boa's earrings?
She tried. Well, speaking of One Piece, would
The
you guys
one-
read a fucking Zoro like novel? Because I wouldn't. But apparently this is going to be like Oda approved and it's going to be coming out, going in depth of like Zora's backstory and stuff like that. This guy's basically like, we're getting a One Piece light novel for Zoro's backstory. Do you guys care about a Zoro light novel, even if it's approved by Oda?
You gotta scroll back up because I gotta read this because it looks like it's Sanji and Zoro.
Yeah, well, the picture is Zanji and Zoro, but this is from something that's already been released. This would be a Zoro-centric light novel that apparently goes into like his origins and like his past. But this guy goes into a tangent, doesn't even like talk about Zoro for a good minute, and then when he starts asking himself the big questions like, when is this coming? When will it be translated? Who's gonna publish it? What are we expecting from the story? Do we know anything? He's just like, nah, not at this time, but it's coming. It'll be out. I'm just asking, would you guys read this? Because I've been on a Mushoku Tensei light novel binge lately.
Well, as someone that has not read One Piece but knows the general story,
You should probably read One Piece.
Probably not. That's what you tell me.
It
Schirm.
goes fast.
It goes fast.
It does.
There are
You'll be
rangers in
100
there.
chapters in within a day, probably.
Hmm.
So I read the creator of Dr. Stone did the Sanji spin-off manga where it was only like 2 chapters. I read that. It was fine.
I also read the Bochi illustrated retelling of that Zoro Mihawk fight. It looked pretty banger, but like, yeah, that original One Piece, going back to that original One Piece fight and then going to the Bochi one. The Bochi one is just so detailed. Like, it is so fucking good. It looks so good, but it's obviously in the Bochi style, which is the Dr. Stone style, instead of the Oda style, which kind of takes it out a little. Because those characters are so recognizable in that Oda style that when they're kind of transformed into something different, you're kind of like, ooh, it takes a while to adjust. But I mean, all I'm saying is like, would you pick up a book and read words and have to imagine it? Is that a big no for you guys?
I'm not opposed to reading books.
Like I was gonna say, yes, I would probably read this.
Really?
As I just told you, I read the Sanji thing. Like, what is so unbelievable?
Oh, but this would be a whole light novel. The Sanji
How
thing
long
you said,
is it?
I don't know.
Jose, just really?
It'll probably be like
Me, though.
198 pages or something. But light novel pages, they're like pretty big. I mean, you could probably knock this out in like a week,
Okay.
depending on how fast you go.
I guess I won't read it then. I don't know.
I mean, It just surprises me that if you like, I know you're a big One Piece fan, but like reading like,
are you gonna pick a side here, man? You're like, well, I think you'd want to read it because you're a big One Piece fan. No, you're never gonna read this garbage. I might read it. I don't know.
You broke my brain, man. I wouldn't think you'd read this, but damn, I was wrong. I'm not that guy. All right, so. I mean, I would probably give it a go if it's audiobooked, but nah, I wouldn't actually read it.
I feel like I just had a stroke there for a second.
Same.
All right.
Same, brother.
Well,
So moving on.
Yeah, one of the isekais I like that are just slice to life is getting a season 2 announcement, which is that I've been killing slimes for 300 years and I maxed on my level. Yeah, look at this long ass fucking title. Fucking hate this shit.
Okay, so Jose, I gotta ask you before we proceed. So what exactly is going on in this story? Because I've seen like the graphic for it.
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, I've seen this before and I read the title, but I never dove into it. So like, since you have experienced it, what's it like?
Okay, main character dies in the real world, gets isekai'd.
Uh-huh.
Wants to live alone. Then dragon comes. She beats up dragon. Dragon turns into her personal assistant. Then she adopts 2 slimes. These are slimes. They become family. She beats this one up on accident. This one wants to learn from her. Then this is a demon girl. Think beats her up on accident too? I don't remember. This is how forgettable a lot of these isekai are. But you know what? I'm going to be here sitting in on this trash. Anyways, the reason I bring this up is because our topic for today is isekai. Now, what do you guys know about isekai? Before we begin, what do you guys...
It's garbage.
Now,
I may have partaken in one or two.
Total garbage.
Now, are we talking...
Complete garbage.
Now, are we talking specifically about Japanese isekais, which are that are now structured very formatively?
Yes.
Okay, so I did a little bit of research into isekai because I was like, when did isekai start? Or kind of like, when was the first isekai? You just get kind of like generic answers. I'm not going to go into them. I didn't even bother to like write them down because I didn't think they were interesting enough. But this dude on Reddit, he did a YouTube video on it. You can go check out his video. I actually watched it. It was pretty good. He's called Capture. His YouTube video is called, well, his YouTube channel is called Caption and Words, and so is his Reddit headliner. But he was basically saying isekai is a form of another genre that used to be called Portal World. And here are some, like the most famous example is Alice in Wonderland, but apparently preceding Alice in Wonderland is something called Blazing World from 1966.
So
written by a woman in 1966.
Is that 19 or 16?
Sorry, 1666.
Okay.
That would make less sense if it was 1966.
So, Jose, what is Blazing World, since this apparently is one of the most, like, recorded older versions of isekai?
Isekai Portal World. Okay, so apparently she falls into, I think she kind of just walks into a mirror or something of that effect. And then she goes into this world where there are anthropomorphic animals. And what she does is that the animals consider her a queen. What she ends up doing is she ends up going back to the real world with all those anthropomorphic little creatures.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
And they invade the world. Yeah, they just go to war with humanity.
Oh, okay. Was the character okay in the head? Like, what was going on there?
I mean, I couldn't tell you, dog. I was reading the synopsis and I was like, this seems super bonkers. I would never read this, but I was like, this is one of the first recorded isekais or portal worlds. I was like, makes a little bit of sense. But I mean, you guys have obviously experienced Alice in Wonderland, 1865, the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, 1900, The Chronicles of Narnia.
Narnia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that's a portal of some sense. They go into a fucking wardrobe.
Yeah, and then they pop back out and...
Remember the Mr. Fawn, Mr. Thomas? He was a fawn.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The movie we watched earlier could have been an isekai or a portal world.
I think Mr. Tumnus was a satyr. I'm gonna die on that hill.
He was a fawn.
You sure?
He said so himself.
Did he say he was a fawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I'm a fawn. I'm Mr. Thomas.
Wait, are we talking about Pan's Labyrinth?
No,
we're talking about Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, yeah, that might be true.
Okay.
Cannot confirm or deny.
But modern portal worlds, something like Coraline or Spirited Away, I mean, 2 years apart. The book was published in 2002. Spirited Away came out in 2001. So, like, this genre has been around for a while, where you get Spirited Away, or you get, you end up in another world. That's been a trope in and of itself forever. But the concept that we have of as isekai is fairly new and popular. Now, why is this so popular? Why is this a rampant subgenre of fantasy? Why does anyone get it? What does anyone get out of it? I know I want everyone's opinion, but I just want to let you guys know. I watched 2 isekais this week,
Good.
and they were awful.
Weird.
I don't recommend them.
That's crazy.
You're telling me that you watched some isekai shows and they were not good.
Correct.
That's insane. I can't believe this happened again.
So what they were both the same. They were both the same concept too.
Weird.
It's like they get reincarnated. Well, one of them is actually unique, like in quotation, unique.
Okay.
He's already living in a fantasy world, dies and gets reincarnated as a mage again.
Oh.
So I mean,
I'm sorry. He was already in the fantasy world. He dies and then gets reincarnated. Is it the same fantasy world?
correct. So I mean,
okay.
Wow, that sounds really good.
I mean, it's
It could be Schirm. It could have been.
Sure.
it's a currently running isekai. It's the one with the 7th prince is the strongest, blah blah blah. His character looks a lot like a girl, so people have been apparently going like, is this a trap? Is this a trap? It is not. It's just a boy. He was very characterized like a girl. Anyways, they were pretty mid. I'd say they border on bad. I don't know if I'll continue watching. I had them in English, so you know me. I wasn't paying attention.
What was the other one?
The other one is the same thing, but with a different name.
Good. I'm glad. This is very exciting.
Okay, Schirm, we all
What's
want to
up?
know your personal opinion. Tell us why you hate isekai so much.
Because it's formulaic garbage. They just shovel this out. Holy shit.
But Schirm, I have a smartphone cheat hack in this one. Isn't that?
I'm sure you'll become the most
kooky?
powerful in that universe.
I'm sure he does.
Okay, I actually watched that one too. He gets a
My
harem.
condolences.
He gets a harem in that one.
He gets a harem? That's crazy.
Dude,
that's insane.
They're so bad too. Like
why do you continue to watch them?
Because it's just like, do you know like when you keep eating food you're not supposed to, but you're just like, you have nothing else to do.
Schirm, it's the forbidden fruit.
It's like that for me. Like, I know I shouldn't be watching this. I know I could be watching Full Metal, Kill la Kill, Madoka. I could be watching anything else, but what am I doing? Watching this.
Good.
You're watching Trap Boy reincarnates as a mage. But people were speculating.
He's not a trap.
Maybe in my heart he is.
Well, he can be a trap in your heart.
Okay. So, in any case, yeah.
What is your thought, Baker? What do you think about it?
I don't hate isekai. It's just that there's so many bad ones that it's hard for me to remember the good ones.
Okay, before we begin, like, I know Schirm has one he likes and adores. What do you like so much about it, Schirm?
Mushoku Tensei?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a couple that I like. I mean, we've talked about this at length before, Salem, you and me, where it's just like, the one thing that it started doing differently was that when he was reincarnated, it was from as a child. So, like, he grows up in that universe. I don't know, it's really hard to say. Like, I feel like
it's a full childhood.
Yeah, like it's
from
him,
birth.
It's him growing up. It's him, like, learning the culture, learning, like, the magic system. Like, none of this is just, I was reincarnated and I'm the most powerful of them all.
You're
Watch
telling
as
me...
I conquer this kingdom and gather a harem.
That's crazy.
Because I don't know where else you go with that after 12 episodes. Like, how many of these isekais just drop off after the first season?
I was just about to say, well, all of them usually get dropped off.
Yeah,
so
it's like, why are we pumping this garbage out?
The only reason why I'm gonna go back to that Killing Slimes is because it's an all girl cast, like
it's
gushing over magical girls.
Yeah,
no men in sight.
They have a harem.
Oh, no men.
No men in sight.
No.
I think there were some men, but as far as I can remember, I remember no men standing out in that show. And I mean, they're cute. It's a slice of life. They just do like random things. Like they'll go out to eat. They'll go out do a spa day. And I was watching it week to week, so like I didn't binge it. So maybe that's what made it less trash. But yeah, this one, the aristocrats, otherworldly adventures serving gods who go too far. Same shit. Like he's too
good.
I'm overpowered.
You mean to tell me this is not a standout, unique product? That's what you're telling me.
Correct.
Okay.
This is absolutely terrible. It's so god awful. I can't even stomach it.
How much of this did you watch?
I watched the whole thing, but I had it in English, so
Were
me.
you listening to it in the background?
Is essentially
What's the
what
plot, Jose? What's the plot?
I don't know. He fucking. That's the one where he like got stabbed in a convenience store, reincarnated. All the gods gave him level 10 like blessings, and he was like, "I'm so strong."
Oh, I recognize that boy. He's the one where the mangaka is drawing him. Like, this is a guy,
Yes.
and he is drawing him, like, in the most girly fucking proportions and shit imaginable.
Correct.
I've seen this before, the pictures. So, you don't remember the plot, huh?
For this one, this is the one where he died in the magic world. It's like, imagine being, who's that character in Lord of the Rings that died? Boromir? Was it Boromir?
I mean, there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking of the first movie,
Yeah.
I mean, Boromir does die.
Yeah, Sean Bean.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah, imagine if Boromir dies and he gets reincarnated in the same world, but now he's like a tree golem or something. He's like, what? It's like it's that, but he's like overpowered and shit. It's those two shows. These two shows are basically the same thing. I watched them back to back just to be like, are these the same thing? I can tell you they just are. They are.
So would you recommend them?
No, don't watch them. So, anyways, like, this is like you said, this is a subgenre that's been rampant. And a lot of it, including Isekai coming out from Japan, is just like, I got reincarnated, I got teleported, I got spirited away, and now I'm the strongest. Or you could pull a twist like Konosuba, and he's just fucking useless, but he's a perv. But it's funny. Or it's the guy who's like, oh, I gotta start from scratch. I gotta work my way up. Oh, I'm so serious. I'm Batman.
I think Arifureta is probably what you're talking about, too. I don't know if y'all have seen that one or not, but
I Am Atomic?
No,
Is that the girl
no,
with the big tower shield?
no, unfortunately, no.
Oh, that's
Actually,
Beaufrey. I always get them confused.
yeah, I hear that one's all right.
Oh, that one's like a
Um,
VR MMO, so they're not technically isekai, they're just playing a game online.
Arifureta, I believe I'm saying that correctly. Basically, this kid and all of his classmates, right? I think he's in like, I don't know, like early high school. So him and all of his classmates basically get teleported to another world, and they all can like use magic and shit. Some have like unique abilities, you know, like your standard swordsman, stuff like that. And this motherfucker gets betrayed during some big battle where all of the classmates are trying to retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, he's still fairly normal. He's just a guy. But as you can see in the fucking splash art and like these screenshots here, he's this eye patch wearing, white hair having, harem wrangling guy.
Okay, so he has a saint who dresses up pretty slutty. He has a fish girl who dresses up pretty slutty.
He has a lolly vampire wife. He has that chick in the top right who's like a dragon in human form. It's garbage, basically. It's one of those people watched it because it was so fucking bad and they got something out of it.
No,
So
like, I legitimately think people watch this because they think it's good.
don't make me depressed, Schirm.
Well, I hate.
Don't do that.
I
to
hate
me.
to be the person that's going to tell you this.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people that definitely think like any isekai that comes out and it follows this formula. It's okay. So like I watched like an Alan Moore interview and he was basically saying like somebody asked him like, what do you think that now that the comic industry has produced more mature comic books? And he's like, comic books aren't fucking mature. They're still pumping out the same fucking garbage as always. You can't staple 12 issues of She-Hulk together and call it a graphic novel. There's nothing graphic or novel about it. And this is isekai. This genre isn't defining anything. It's not doing anything different. Like, and you know who the culprit is? That's not even technically an isekai because it falls in the same category as Beaufry. Beaufry. Sword Art. Sword Art started this because Sword Art took off back in 2012. And basically what happened is people took up every light novel they could find with these exact same elements. But the problem is that Sword Art Online we're trapped in a video game while every other light novel that was Dungeons and Swords and all this other video game, like the subgenre of isekai fantasy has its own subgenres where it's like, hey, do you have pop-up menus? Or hey, it's like, hey, is this strictly a fantasy? Or hey, did you get reincarnated and are you overpowered? Or did you get reincarnated and are you are you non-human? Examples: the slime, skeleton and overlord, the vending machine, the fish in the Korean manhwa, the monster, the spider,
sword guy.
the spider. Apparently there's a manga that hasn't been adapted into an anime yet where this dude gets reincarnated as an AI spaceship.
Oh, good. That'll be good when it comes out, I'm sure.
The sword.
That's gonna break the mold.
The sword for that sword
Yep,
isekai.
I was reincarnated as a sword. Yeah.
Oh, the sword's so overpowered. He's gonna share his powers with the little cat
told
girl.
you that's in
Yeah.
One Piece?
Oh.
You can get that.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
elephant turns into a sword.
I have seen that actually. Yeah.
Did you know it's not an elephant that ate a sword fruit, but a sword that ate the elephant
Yeah, they
fruit?
somehow like gave it the elephant fruit and then it became.
No, it makes sense if you think about it.
They just
Oh.
shove the fruit down the sword's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, silly me.
No, but like people like to point to Sword Art Online, and there were isekais prior to this, but like you wouldn't. This is what started. I'm now the strongest, or I'm now the biggest. I'm now in a fantasy world. Blah blah blah. Do you got? And let me get your opinions because you know mine. I'm never gonna touch sword art. You guys,
You'll touch any other piece of trash though.
No, sword art is beneath me.
Too far.
sword art is too far.
There is
I
an
don't
English
know
dub for
how it
sword
could-
art. There's an English dub. You
Like,
got that in the background.
I
No.
might shit talk sword art a lot, but man, it's got
Yeah.
a lot going for it compared to some of these other isekais.
Unironically, just going by what you're saying about the slimes or Arifureta or whatever, I'd rather watch sword art again. I'm not even lying to you.
Okay.
I'd rather go through those rape scenes again.
Would you
Oh, yeah.
rather go through sword art or Danmachi?
I don't know what Danmachi
I've
is.
watched Danmachi. I watched, I think, 2 seasons of it. I'd rather watch sword art. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
What the fuck is a
Yes.
Danmachi?
Oh,
Is it the,
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, something like
I mean,
that.
at least sword art, there was a story to him picking up his harem. I
Was
don't,
there?
Yes. He met Asuna. Ugh,
Look,
it's not worth it.
he, as the kids say, rizzed up Asuna,
I mean,
and then, events happened, and then he picked
I mean,
up the
he
armor
gathered
chick.
them all. Yeah,
He did. He did.
There
yeah.
was at least story implications instead of just, I don't know, I found this girl. She's now following me because she thinks I'm hot or something.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
weaponsmith chick
I'm
had a
not-
crush on him. and,
Yeah, she
you
made
know.
She made the.
Oh yeah, he has that unique skill that only
That's
he
right.
can have.
That's
for some
because
reason.
he was a fucking game tester.
he was a beater,
He's a black swordsmith.
a beta tester, and a cheater. A beater.
He's not on that Sigma Grime set.
Oh, dude.
He's a beta. He's a fucking beta, dude.
I don't.
Dude, Kirito pulls mad
I was
bitches,
gonna
man.
say I don't
know.
think he's a
I don't
beta
know.
at all. He is the alpha.
He's a
He
Sigma.
has,
Like, if
he
anything-
has a
Sigma
wife. He has an AI daughter.
If
he has
anything,
a
it's
harem
like
in the background.
that guy,
Excuse me,
like-
did you just say he has an AI daughter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Yeah.
throw this whole author away.
Yeah.
Throw him away,
Yeah,
man.
instead, let's watch I Was Reincarnated as the Strongest Being for the 15th fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there is an isekai where like you can go to a restaurant or whatever, but that
Oh.
no, who cares about that?
Good.
The fourth episode of the McDonald's anime is an isekai. When are we getting
Do
to
I
this?
hear the cowbell on the McDonald's isekai?
The McDonald's. Do you
Are we-
guys remember that? It was like a while back. McDonald's was like going through. They were doing like a promotional thing where it was like McDonald's,
Yeah, 'cause
and they
that's
had
the-
like a
that's
anime
the
and
name
manga.
of the store in the anime. Yeah, and then people were like, "Did they change the logo? The logo looks different on this bag I just got."
Yeah, non-anime people were really confused. Just cause
Mhm.
just like when they were like, "Hey, I want to pick up like I want to get a meal. Would you like to try our Travis Scott meal?" And everyone's like, "Who the fuck is Travis Scott?" Or like, "Would you like the BTS meal?" "Who the fuck is that?" It was essentially the same thing. It's like, "Do you want to try the anime bundle?" "I don't watch that garbage."
Anyway, moving on.
Wait, real quick,
Did
Jose.
did you watch the McDonald's anime?
I did not. I kind of thought about watching it here with you guys, but let's
So,
save that for a special.
I need to ask you, Jose. What's your feelings on Danmachi anyway? Since you brought it up, I am curious.
I like it better than like
Hmm.
most of these isekais. I mean, I think that the pop-up menu level mechanic is kind of dumb.
Hmm.
Considering it's not an isekai, it's supposed to be like a fantasy.
Yeah, it's
quote
supposed
unquote.
to be fantasy.
Yet they're over here like, wow, you've leveled up.
Like, I liked the beginning of it because Bell, the main character, right? So he's fucking garbage. Like, literally, like, he has to get his ass saved multiple times early on in the show. Like, he's getting his just shit kicked in. And he's always getting saved by that sword princess chick, the blonde one. Like, I liked the beginning because he was garbage and it actually, felt like he was working his way up and he had to train and, he was a part of like a group that only had one member being himself, but later on in the show, like, it just started to seem like he was starting to get super fucking powerful. And sword art, as bad as it is, I did find some enjoyment just based on like certain plot points and like, I don't know, it looked nice too, I'll say at
Sword art looked nice.
some points.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seeing as how I'm never gonna touch it,
Uh-huh.
what
You're
would you
missing
guys
out, Jose.
what would you guys rate this? Like
Right. What?
sword art. Like, what do you think this is? Because people still watch this religiously. Some people even go back and do analogies and analysis, and they're like deep diving it. Why you're wrong about Kirito? Why he is better than God? Like, what? Can you
Oh,
justify that for me?
I don't think anyone's made that video specifically.
I'm sure somebody on Twitter has.
Oh, no one cares about what's on Twitter.
So
Salem does.
No, he doesn't.
to a degree, to a degree.
He realizes it's trash.
But if someone were to say, like, oh yeah, man, fucking guts, put that man in the ground, Kirito is the true black swordsman or whatever, I don't. You know it's wrong, so you just don't.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no, I can't say too much on Sword Art just because, like, I watched from season 1 up till the ending of Gun Gale. That's when I stopped watching the
That's
show.
about where I stopped.
So anything
the fuck
after
is Gun Gale?
That's where they go to
the Gun Gale arc?
They go to the magical world with guns.
Oh yeah, instead of this medieval kind of world with swords and shields, people have guns now. They
Is
have
that
assault
the
rifles.
girl with the pink bunny?
No, that's a different Gun Gale. That's Gun Gale alternative.
Yes it is.
This is fucking stupid.
Oh, you're gonna love this. So Kirito, he's a swordsman, right?
Okay.
He's a black swordsman.
Hit me with it.
So in Gun Gale,
Yep.
if you remember Schirm, so
Is she the pink gunman?
No.
Gun woman,
He
sorry.
gets a lightsaber. He gets a fucking lightsaber in Gun Gale because we need the sword man to do the sword thing.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I
it was.
I would rate
It was.
Sword Art.
You'd give it a 5 or a 6?
Yeah.
That's too precious. What do you think our friend Tristan would rate this? Just knowing
Sword
him.
Art
Is he the kind of friend that we have that obviously
watches trash. Yeah.
well, yeah, he
Absolutely.
watches a lot of garbage.
Just absolute fucking dog shit.
But do you think he's the one that unironically rates these kind of high? Hold on, should I pull up his mail? Hold on,
You
I'm
can.
gonna pull up his mail.
Good.
Talk amongst yourself about what you like and dislike about anime, real quick.
I think Fate's.
Yeah, Fate's neat. I'd say it's above average.
Let me ask you a question because I never actually looked in.
Yeah.
Is there a reverse gender bend at any point? Like, you know how Artorias, King Arthur, Leonardo da Vinci gets turned into a girl. Is there a reverse gender swap?
So you're talking about like female historical figures that turned into
Yeah. Like, is
me see.
Mercury turned into a fucking dude? That's fucking sick.
I gotta think on that one.
What do you not
Off
like it?
the top of my head, I don't think so. The only thing I could tell you with certainty, at least, it's not really a reverse gender swap per se, but do you know about Fate Prototype at all?
Can't say I do.
Okay, so in Fate Prototype, they have Frodo Saber as he is. Basically, it's
Okay.
just King Arthur, but just a guy.
But instead of it being a girl, it's just
a guy.
guy.
It's
Yo,
insane.
what's his
dog.
number one up there? I gotta see.
Kaguya-sama. 10.
Not even close to the best romance.
He gave Spirited Away a 9. He gave Angel Beats a 9.
Let's
I've
see.
heard good
Okay,
things about
so
Angel Beats.
Angel Beats was one of the first anime I ever watched.
Is it an isekai?
No,
No.
Okay.
But I wouldn't give it a 9 for sure.
I've heard people talk very highly of it. I would
It
say it's probably like 7 or 8 based on how people talk about it.
there are some really hard hitting emotional moments.
Oh, Demon Slayer, a 9.
Oh wait, no.
Wait, okay. What
The
about Miss
origi-
Kobayashi's Maid? It's
it's-
technically a reverse isekai?
You're the only one that's watched that one.
I mean, would you
so-
guys ever attempt it?
So I did watch Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid the first season.
Oh,
I liked it a lot.
Oh.
The opening's great.
an entire anime for you?
I know.
That's crazy.
I know it's crazy, but also Miss Kobayashi came out a few years ago.
That's
so-
true. You had plenty of time.
Yes, I have regressed over time. But yeah, no. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid's great.
I want to watch it at some
Yo,
point.
he watched MF Ghost?
I don't know what that is.
Wow. It's the sequel to Initial D. Let's see. He's got a lot of 9s
He
on
rated
here.
the Swordsmith Village. Not this man's taste off.
Didn't y'all tell me that arc was the one that people thought was just not good or boring?
That's
It
the
was
one I
pretty
think is
boring.
not good.
that
and
has
boring.
a Gyoko in it, right? The jar guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Spice and Wolf original. Gave
Look-
it an 8, but he gave...
Let's go back to Kimetsu no Yaiba Swordsmith Village for a second.
Why?
I will say I think both the villains are cool. The implementation of them, not so much. It felt like he was throwing these motherfuckers at the wall because he needed to get rid of them.
okay. So it's like a not so obvious as killing off all the lower ranked demons.
No, but like still, you could tell at that point he was trying to get this shit done.
We gotta end this.
He's like, we
series.
gotta fucking go. We can't do one by one anymore.
All
It's
gas,
gotta be
no breaks, brother.
Yeah, literally, like, hey, send 2 of them. Fuck it. I don't know.
Platinum End.
He gave Platinum End a
6 is
6.
too fucking high.
What are you
Throw that
talking
in the
about?
trash.
Dude, he kind of had a hit with Death Note, but Platinum Man... But Platinum Man, that's not it, dog. And he gave Worlds and Harem a 5. You know what he told me? He said, I had to really power through this one. I was like, why'd you even continue, dog? Like, that shit was so ass. I could not continue past the first episode. That's during the time I was giving almost anything a try. But that, dude, couldn't even get past the first episode.
So not Isekai or whatever, but Rent a Girlfriend, right?
Uh-huh.
Terrible.
6 is too high. What are we doing?
What are you talking about? All he does is jerk off to the girl.
Yeah.
Because they're so hot, especially the blonde one.
I hate
I love Kazuya, I think the main character's name is. I love him being a fucking incel and just fucking jerking off to any opportunity of the main girl doing anything.
Do you know why his shit has gone?
Don't act like you're higher than him, Salem. You and I
don't
both
insult
know.
me. Do not insult me with that.
Yeah, I've seen your Twitter feed.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I looked at it, all I saw was
a word.
Yeah, cum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when you saw my phone notification on Twitter. Yeah, I remember that.
Had to peek. Had to take a gander inside your mind.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, he watched Testament of Sister New Devil. Yeah, he's got a lot of...
Oh, God, Testament of Sister New Devil. I watched that, too.
I watched this on his recommendation. This was a 5.
What is your anime taste? Like, I'm so confused. You're like, yeah.
Look, all right. It's everywhere, dog. It's
right.
everywhere. I am an enigma, so I don't know what to tell you. I didn't enjoy it. Let me just put that out.
Hey, did you enjoy High School DxD?
At the time, which is to say,
let's ask a different question. If you were to go back now, where you are, let's say you could have the knowledge of having watched it, would you enjoy it now?
No.
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, some of the girls are hot, but that's about as far as that goes.
I'd argue most of them are attractive.
They're not all of them are to my tastes, but like I could not sit through multiple.
Can I ask you a follow-up question?
My teen romantic comedy Snafu 2. He gave it a 7.
Fantastic. That should be higher.
Yeah, that's an 8 or 9. Let me ask you another question. Which of the High School DxD girls is the most attractive? Because now I gotta know.
See, Akino probably.
What about Rias Grimoire?
Oh yeah, you said Akino. Okay. Yep.
How
accurate?
Who's your...
No, that's accurate.
Oh, okay.
That's the correct choice. Hell yeah, brother.
My Hero Academia season 6, 8. Huh.
I mean, I've seen clips of that new episode with Star and Stripes, and let me tell you, that moment in the manga was actually really hype.
Who gives a fuck about that trash?
Oh, okay. I guess I won't talk.
No, go on, Schirm. Go on.
No.
Stars and Stripes. Is she the Donald Trump to save America?
She was really cool working.
Yeah, she was a hero from America, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets bodied by Todoraki, right?
Nope, Shigaraki.
Yeah, she gets bodied by Shigaraki, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers, I guess. Because as far as I know, that character's like done. He gave Jujutsu Kaisen an 8. I mean, lines up. Mushoku Tensei 8. I mean, He gave Hero Cautious Hero an 8. I mean...
Wait. Let me read that title real quick. Okay. Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. What's his fucking name? Also, I know about that one.
It's like his second reincarnation too, by the way. That guy. It's not great. He gave Fairy Tail an 8. Man, that does not line up. So anyways, Tristan.
We've really devolved from like talking about Isekai to just shitting on.
Sure, like these are not like do you think this genre needs to change it up? What do you think could change up this genre? Because I feel like I'm starting from 0 and I need to level up. That's kind of something that like Shield Hero has already done. Like what could make this genre kind of evolve besides this? I reincarnated. I got
more grounded and realistic plots, I'd say.
Do you think if we got rid of let's say they die, get reincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
But they're born into like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones world. Like, do you think these guys could manage?
Did they instantly become the strongest character in the universe?
No, because they're grounded to those rules.
Then
they're not just born with inherent advantages. They're just a guy.
I think
Correct.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that'd be better than what we currently get. Like, I feel like that's why I like Mushoku Tensei to begin with, and Shield Hero is like they felt more grounded in reality. They didn't come in both like becoming the strongest, or they weren't the strongest immediately. Like, especially Mushoku Tensei, that first fucking like 5 episodes, just Rudy growing up. I mean, he learns magic and he's like training with his dad to sword fight, but he's just a fucking child growing up. That's it. Like, I feel like if you ground your story more in reality, or like working your way through like the universe, I feel like it's a better story. rather than just, hey, I came in, I'm the strongest.
Do you think this might be kind of a cultural thing for us where like we look at this and we're like, yeah, this is kind of oversaturated. Like, I don't really get this. Do you think like these kind of isekais where like Japanese people are like, God, I wish I could go to another world? Do you think it's something like we don't understand because we're not working 996s, which is like 9 to 9, 6 days a week?
Absolutely. I think that's the reason why this genre is as popular as it is in Japan.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, people love their power fantasies every now and then, right? I mean, there's a reason why it's like persisted throughout the years. The problem is that once you've seen a couple, you've almost seen them all.
Yeah, you've seen them all.
So for new eyes coming into this shit, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to pick up, I'm overly cautious as a hero, blah, 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 whatever. Or the smartphone hack shit. They might actually get a kick out of that because they haven't really consumed a whole lot of isekai, and they're like, oh, well, this seems interesting. But for people that have, they're just like, okay, it's none run-of-the-mill story, nothing too special.
So okay, so you kind of brought it up, Schirm, a minute ago. Like, what makes Mushoku different is we just watch Rudy for like a good couple episodes just grow up. And even by the end of the first season, he's not any older than like 13. I think he ends the season at 15 and season 2 starts with him being 15. I think there's a 2-year time skip because by that point, he's like, he gets the nickname Quagmire. He's still dealing with the like ED. He's trying to figure it out. So like, do you think a lot of these isekais could learn from Mushoku Tensei, or do you think a lot of them just like, because okay, and here's another thing, a lot of these animes get adapted from light novels. Light novels are so rampant because of this website. I forgot to bring this up. Naru, or Do You Want to Become a Novelist? And then right there I put, is a website where you can write novels, self-explanatory. SOA is said to have paved the way for the current wave of isekai. So isekai was published on this website back between like the mid 2000s, and then the Sword Art Online was first published on that website in the mid 2000s, and then it was picked up by its current publisher, and it's still going with plenty of novels to go to this day. So like, a lot of these isekais are picked up from light novels, like, and light novels are super rampant in Japan. Like people pick up light novels like it's a manga. Now you guys know the difference between a manga and a light novel. A light novel is basically a chapter book, and there's a lot of words in that shit, dog.
Yeah,
it's closer to an actual book than a manga is.
Correct. Like, I can knock out one volume of a manga in a day, maybe like 30 minutes if I'm actually paying attention, an hour if I really want to be engrossed, 20 minutes if I want to like get it done. But a novel, I gotta sit there and like, okay, I don't know if I told you guys, I bought the like So What, I'm a Spider light novel.
Oh,
there are a couple pages where she just gets like level up, level up, level up, level up. And that's just the entire page. Like, all right, now what do you want to level up? Do you want to level up this? And it's just like, it's just that for like plenty of pages. So I think that's why I like the Mushoku Tensei light novel, because I'm pretty sure if I was reading if I was listening to the I'm a Spider light novel, I wouldn't be able to skip the narrator going level up, level up, level up, level up for like 5 minutes.
You think they'd like jazz it up a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, if they have to say the same thing over and over, you think he does like different voices?
Level up, level up, level up,
level up, level up.
Yeah, like that's what that light novel was, that Spider one, because it integrates that like that Dragon Quest, that RPG element into it, which some isekais do, but like something like Mushoku that doesn't. Do you think that's better, or do you think like, are we losing anything by taking away those kind of RPG elements? Is it better without the RPG elements? In my personal opinions, I don't care for those RPG elements. What about you guys?
Having RPG elements is fine. The problem is that, like, at least to me, when you see all these pop-ups and all these different menus and everything, you start to wonder, like, okay, what out of all this is actually important? Like, am I supposed, like, when they show, like, the, you know, the HP, MP, all that shit, it's like, okay, is this going to come into play, or are you just showing this because you have, you know what I mean? Like, out of obligation. When you're showing items and skills or whatever, are they kind of come into play, or are they just there because it's a game, we have to show that? You know what I mean? It just feels kind of pointless, especially if there's, like, 20 pop-ups.
It's definitely pretty pointless. I know, I mean, Mushoku doesn't do it. We can sometimes see, I think people get like appraised, but like we never outright get like, I'm gonna look at his status menu. Oh, he's so strong, he's locked behind a paywall. Better pay $5.99. Like, that shit is not fun, dog. That's why I turn that shit in English, because I'm not paying attention.
I mean, fair enough. I just love the idea that you're going through these shows with the dub and you're just not really like committing it to memory or anything. You're just like, you know.
So that's something Schirm asked me, like, what do I get out of these things? If it's something like Mushoku that gets my attention, I start everything in Japanese. because I kind of like a lot of the Japanese voice actors that do their job really well. But if I start watching something and I immediately go, let me turn this on to English, you can bet your ass I'm not going to be paying attention.
Well, then, like, why not switch the show?
Yeah, why don't we just stop watching?
Because I feel like, well, I'm kind of interested, but you know what? I also kind of want to do the dishes. So like, instead of sitting,
Brother, just pop on YouTube or something, like.
I do, but like, there's only so many videos my like feed can feed me before I start rewatching stuff that I've already watched a million times. I know you guys are that way. Can't tell me you're not.
Brother, I don't want to delve into my YouTube addiction, so I'm not going to comment on that.
How many Kamen Rider videos have you watched this week?
More than I can count.
Pull up his history. He's got more watched hours in Kamen Rider
Brother,
than there are in the week.
If you look up my watch history, you're going to find random video essays that are like 3 to 4 hours long, and then a bunch of Kamen Rider transformations that I've already watched 50 times.
Why Saban absolutely ruined Masked Rider in the West.
That's a tale for another time.
That Masked Rider was an isekai. He's from another world.
Is he the strongest?
No, he's a bitch.
So,
I've gotten us into something, haven't I?
you might have. You
Right.
might have. Well,
Awesome.
I mean, like in any Kamen Rider show, at least the ones I've watched, like they're not the strongest at all. Like, Sure, you're making a face.
I'm listening.
No. We'll skip over it. Let's not.
Oh, they're not the strongest. Go on.
Yeah, they have different forms. They have other
Mhm.
enemies to fight.
Yeah,
Sounds-
Schirm, you know.
That sounds better than these isekais.
Would you? Okay, Schirm, would you?
promise you?
Well,
I promise you. Like,
Schirm, would you watch how do you say it?
Tokusatsu?
Would you watch a tokusatsu
much rather
over
than
an isekai?
any of the current isekai that gets pumped out.
Sherm, I watched Kamen Rider Revice,
Uh-huh.
and I actually cried 3 times watching that
Okay.
show. I'm not lying to you.
I
Like,
mean,
it hit me.
I'm not above saying that I've cried during some moments in anime.
Okay. Not an isekai, I imagine.
Schirm, so like,
Maybe out of boredom.
I think at some point Mushoku has tugged on my heartstrings before, but
well, besides Mushoku.
I've already talked to you about how Mushoku's story hits me especially hard.
Oh yeah, no.
But
like,
that's
I
probably
get that.
why do we think this is gonna like implode in on itself?
No.
No, it's too big to fail. Okay.
Honestly, literally.
this
Famous
this
last words.
monolith of a genre will never fall, dude. It is an endless, all-consuming beast.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I was actually doing a little bit of research, and over on AniList, right? I was going by isekai and then years. The year it really blew up was, I think, 2017.
Mm-hmm. Was that one after Sword Art came out?
So Sword Art came out in 2012, and like immediately the following year, there were a lot of isekais that kind of picked up on the same elements, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Where like, even though it was the same thing, where it's like, hey, they're in a fantasy world, they have RPG elements, or even if you take out the RPG elements, they're killing slimes, they're doing quests, they're doing a big picture thing. A lot of people were just like, pick up a light novel with like a fantasy genre. I think that's what it started, but I don't think they realized that essentially what they were getting into was isekai, because that's what they started pumping out like immediately afterwards, where a lot of isekais, where a lot of protagonists got, I was murdered and now I'm a vending machine with hemorrhoids, or like Truck-Kun came for me and now, I'm a fish
And you know what's
in the big sea.
You know what's still going on to this day? More isekai.
More isekai.
Yeah. It's an all-consuming beast.
I mean, like, throughout the years, throughout all the isekai, like, is there anything that has ever, besides Mushoku, because we've asked Kista quite a bit, is there anything else that has kind of, like, you've been like, this was pretty good? Like,
Shield Hero.
What
right?
about Shield Hero? Like,
What do you mean?
do you like that if Shield Hero hops between worlds, they start at 0? That's actually something I thought was pretty clever. I like that they didn't just carry over their stats.
You didn't know that they go to different worlds, did you?
The only thing I did know about Shield Hero in terms of different worlds, where there was like other heroes that like they were fighting against.
They basically go to like alternate realities of the reality he's in, and then there are different great heroes with different weapons. So there's like a katana hero. There's like,
is there a scythe hero or something?
God, I wish.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there is actually. I think that's from like the end of the first season. There was a scythe hero.
So there's different variants.
Yeah, so because when you meet the other collection of heroes, they're kind of like taken as the antagonists to fight against our current heroes.
2017 2017, and you can take a look at this. Like, there is nothing here, but like this year was like the year of Overlord. But you know, what is it like? Miss Kobayashi's made. Like
smartphone.
Yep.
There it is.
Smartphone.
Yay.
Season 2 of Konosuba.
Mm-hmm.
Recreators.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Restaurant in Another World. Like, these are, this is the year it really popped off for like isekai. Tanya, I love Tanya. But like if you take a look at the year prior, like it wasn't as bad. Like there were isekais, but like it kind of just stopped right there. And then prior to that, what does that say right there?
You should click on it. Maybe we can find out more.
Nah, we're good. But like, yeah, like if you take a look at it, even going back like 2015, this is where like the cutoff is. Like there were isekais still coming out, but like it just blew up. Like
So-
everybody was like, let's just make an isekai.
You see what I see?
Mana transfers.
Yeah, apparently fake
Dark-haired characters or dark-skinned characters.
How do you say that? Fake Khaled?
Khalid,
Yeah.
like Kaleidoscope.
That
Card
one.
Fight Vanguard.
That one had. That one
Is
had
that a good
plenty of
Card Fight
seasons.
Vanguard season?
I like the game.
Couldn't tell ya.
I couldn't tell you about the anime.
Well, it's got to be better than what's currently available for Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Dude, I actually watched
Don't tell me you watched the new season.
no.
Okay.
So for Card Fight Vanguard, I
Okay.
lied.
Okay.
Okay. So the original first anime, I actually watched like 25 episodes of it.
Yep.
It's not bad. It actually is not bad at all.
Does it have cool cards, cool boss monsters?
Really cool monster men.
Are you gonna tell me
Um,
about Code White now?
We're not talking about
Why not?
Because Build Divide was bad, okay?
What?
The OPs were bangers.
I'm pretty sure he buried his sister's deck and she got real mad about it.
Things were never the same. after
Things will
that.
never be the same after you buried my deck.
But like Card Fight Vanguard, like the rules are well established. They're gradually.
Have you ever
easy.
actually physically played Card Fight Vanguard?
I played on the Switch.
Okay,
I actually
but
bought a Deer Day.
Not with another person.
I'd love to, but I don't really know where to go for that, and I'd also have to buy cards.
Question: Is Higurashi? Is that an isekai?
I don't know what Higurashi is.
Higurashi is not. It's more of like a violent mystery kind of show with some time travel in it.
Okay, so that's time
Um,
travel, not isekai.
Wait, what was Fate?
That's literally what I asked earlier. Is isekai fake Khalid isekai?
Fate.
Kaleidoscope.
The magical girl Fate is not an isekai.
We can just go with Prisma Ilia just for simplicity's
Yeah.
sake if we're talking about it. But no,
I can't think of any part that they travel to another world.
Okay,
like maybe the Snow movie, I think it was, when they have to go to like the other families.
Was that another world or?
Well, that's all I could think.
Oh
of,
yeah,
maybe,
yeah, but I don't think that happened in season 2, so it's weird it's listed as isekai.
I don't know.
so there were actually 2 big isekais this year, but the one that was
Why is
overshadowed.
Naruto up there?
That's Road to
Famous
Ninja.
Isekai Naruto.
That's Road to Ninja, where Naruto ends up in a parallel world where his parents were
fuck
alive
Off. Fuck off.
and
No.
Sakura's parents were dead.
Oh, thank God.
I guess Excel World would count if SAO does, because that's also another like video game parallel
Right,
to our
and
world
but
type thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like technically, they're just going into an MMR VR world. They can come out at any time.
It's a new world.
Would you call that kind of a portal world, even though they don't physically or spiritually go into that other world? They're just kind of experiencing a virtual reality because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, they're traveling to a virtual world. I think that qualifies.
But your body is still in the real world. Like, are we muddying the lines, or are we splitting hairs?
Your consciousness is in the video game. Therefore, you got transported.
All right, so tell me, all these dudes that be wearing the Apple headsets, are they in a VR world?
No, because that's augmented reality. It's not virtual reality.
We're not there yet, but one day we'll get
One
there.
day we'll get there.
One day if we die in the game, we'll die.
These two are basically the same thing, from what I understand. Excel World and
I
Sword
think
Art.
it's the same mangaka as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah.
He sucked. Anyways, do you see kind of like how diverse the term isekai was at the time? Like, you could have like whatever the fuck this is, Izamu 11 Go versus Danball Senki W. Like, there's a lot of this shit, right? And like this Precure one, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Like, are they turning into magical girls going into another world? Who the fuck knows? I'm not gonna watch
Did
it.
you ever watch? What's that one card that we found?
I mean, Cardcaptor Sakura was on my list of like card game related stuff.
But that's not really a card game one.
Yeah. I mean, Vanguard I decided to watch at some random point in time. and that's the most recent card game.
But do you guys kind of agree that after Sword Art is like kind of like where it kind of started taking off? Like we started getting more like Log Horizon. We started getting things like The Devil is a Part-Timer. That's a reverse isekai. Hey, there are problem children coming from another world.
The fact that Corpse Party is accounted for,
Technically,
I guess you're right. I just think it's goofy that Corpse Party is among like Prisma Ilia and all this other bullshit.
problem children coming from another world. But like you guys do see like 2017 is like if you were going into one world, if you were even just kind of like going through another door, you were isekai'd right then and there.
So are you basically trying to say that like SAO was the one that really popularized the genre and caused more of this stuff to be made in anime?
Yeah, like do you guys kind of agree? Do you think that's a stretch? A lot of online articles.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable assumption to say because I mean SAO blew the fuck up and everybody who was anybody knew about SAO.
Like we got Overlord season 3 in 2018, and we also got Slime. That's where Slime came in. Our friend Tristan told me to watch this one. Can you kind of guess why?
There he is.
I do.
That's
I do
our
see
boy.
him.
Which
I
one?
see the bone of his sword.
Wait,
Oh, that one.
I am the bone of...
Unknown to death.
Did I ever show you
Unknown
that
to
video
life.
with that specific paragraph?
I don't think so, but show me.
Do you want to see that later? I'll show.
Do you guys? I know Schirm especially does not care doesn't want to touch isekai with a 6-foot pole.
If it's good, that's like all these things get pumped. Go to 2024.
Well, Schirm, if I ever find anything good, I'll let you know. But
Okay, wait.
you're right.
I'm not watching.
We got McDonald's.
Oh, I saw the fat elf. Oh god.
We got-
Oh yeah,
we got-
a plus-sized elf or something like that. If
Yup.
I'm not
we
mistaken.
fixed
got
her
Big L.
design, boys.
Oh,
I'm taking it slow in another world.
yo, more Precure. Let's go.
More Precure.
Good.
Mushoku. Like yeah. I mean,
God,
oh my.
look at all of them.
Yeah, dude.
Are-
This year is big for
I
like.
was gonna mention. I'm pretty sure solo leveling's technically an isekai.
I mean, they do. It's a portal world.
I suppose they're going to dungeons or whatever.
Yeah. I just like who has time for all this?
Me.
You put it on English dub and then you do something.
Do the dishes in the background.
Literally.
What was the show about, Schirm?
I don't know.
Something. He's atomic or something. I don't fucking know.
I am.
I'm literally building an anime shelf to house all my anime girls and what's in the background. I don't know, a fucking nuke went off or something. I couldn't tell you. Like we're supposed to be getting dude. This year is stacked for like anime that's supposed that is ice cold right now. Like ReZero, Slime, fucking
What do you mean by ice
Konosuba, dude. Those properties have been like they haven't been abandoned per se, but they've just kind of like they've been trickling out. Like here's a 3-minute special, or here's a 20-minute special OVA. Like like do we care? Look, even DC got in on it. This is Katana.
Where sword traps the souls.
We say that
Sorry.
wrong every time. Like even Katana is gonna be in an isekai.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite DC character. I wonder who's voicing her. I hope it's somebody good. No, but for real though, like, what do you like? Do you guys agree that this market is kind of oversaturated? Look
Yes.
at how many isekais are out. Like even this
Brother,
season.
yes, it is a very oversaturated market.
Do you think this is kind of like the superhero wave in the West, where like we were getting so many superhero movies that eventually Marvel messed it up for itself, that now we're kind of in this like rest period of superhero stuff?
I feel like Marvel had other problems more than like they just kept pumping out too many and they didn't like keep it up to the same standard that
Like-
they started with.
the writing quality started going down?
Hey, just shove a little more Marvel humor in there. They'll like that.
Dude, even Chris Hemsworth came out going like, yeah, Thor 4, I don't know why I kept up the like Thor 3 like momentum going. Obviously like that was kind of like a one and done, but we thought let's just do it again, and obviously people were not very well receptive to it, even though they did the exact same thing, just like a different plot, but it was the exact same thing. I mean, like Thor, Isekai, it's a world, it's magic, but it's technically advanced technology. We're gods, but my hammer can fly.
Uh-huh.
No, seriously
You know,
though.
I guess in Norse mythology there are different realms, so
Do you remember
I guess
that-
you could say that.
Do you guys
yeah.
remember that first Thor movie? Have you guys ever watched it where he's like,
No,
have you?
with Natalie Portman.
What's your question?
Have you watched that first Thor movie?
Yes.
Do you remember when Thor's like, our worlds are connected to the tree of the world? Oh, it's like it's like magic. What you call magic? We have advanced science or some bullshit like that. And I was just like, shut the fuck up, man. You're a Norse god from a fantasy world.
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, and he got kicked out of his world. The what is it called?
Asgard?
Yeah. And I'm the comic fan.
Yep.
He got kicked out of Asgard, sent to Earth,
Uh-huh.
learned humility.
And then he fell in love with Natalie Portman.
And then they broke up in that third Thor movie. You know, the
Lovely.
best one.
Lovely.
Probably a good idea for her not to have come back, even though I like Natalie Portman, but like, you know. Okay, so let's wrap up the Isekai talk. It's not worth our mental sanity, but you know, I'm not dedicating that much CPU power in my brain to like, you know, to this trash. Would you guys want to watch the McDonald's Isekai?
No. Hell no.
You guys got no taste.
I fucking guess. I guess, dog.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, what are like just kind of closing thoughts on Isekai as a whole? Like, what are your closing thoughts?
Garbage. Don't watch.
Like any genre, it has potential. It's
No, it
just
doesn't.
that no
Quiet down.
potential. None.
Quiet down over there.
Your closing
okay.
thoughts are the
Oh,
same
okay.
as your opening thoughts?
Yep. Isekai is garbage.
garbage. It has potential,
Mm.
but there's a lot of garbage in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is okay. Let me ask, Schirm, how did you start watching Mushoku? Like, did our friend Tristan tell you to watch it? Were you just kind of like, let me check this out? Like, what gave you the push to watch Mushoku? Because imagine there's another Isekai as good as that, but you'll never know because you don't want to
I
touch
think
them.
Matt, one of the people we know, Matt recommended Mushoku Tensei to me. So I watched it all. But I would have stopped like the same like generated format that all the other Isekais used. I'd have been like I tried to watch Slime, and I don't think Slime's bad in any way. It's just like I was watching it and I just kind of got bored.
That is fair. That's fair. You kind of, I think Slime was the first Isekai that is like, he gets reincarnated. He starts out weakish, but he has a cheat ability. He gets strong. He builds a village. He gets subordinates, and he becomes the like demon. Currently, he's a demon lord. But yeah, that was like the first Isekai that I watched that was basically like that. And then every other Isekai I touched was just that afterwards. But when I touched Mushoku, it was the same thing, but just a little bit better. And he didn't have like that, you know what I'm talking about, where he has like that system kind of like in Solo Leveling where it just basically tells him like, hey, I want to do this. Probability, not likely. You should probably do this instead. And then he's like, all right, I'll do that instead. You know what I'm talking about?
Mushoku has that?
No, I'm saying Mushoku doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Where like basically like it was just Mushoku's just very grounded, I guess. Even the light novels that I'm like listening to right now, like it's a very grounded story. There's a lot of like family drama, political drama. There's just a bunch of like
It's more of a fleshed out world.
Let me put it to you this way. I think the problem I have with most Isekai is the thing they want you to get out of it is, hey, we're transported to a different world and that's it. Like that's the meat and potatoes. Or I feel like Mushoku Tensei did that, moved quickly past it, and it's just become about other things that are important, like his family, the geopolitical situations going on, like the different factions inside of that world. Like everything feels fleshed out. Whereas most of these Isekais, it's like, I'm here, I'm the strongest, let's do all the things and then we'll wrap this shit up in 12 episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I
Like,
get it.
it's kind of why I semi-enjoyed Overlord. It's like, at least one, it was an interesting take on the genre where he's not the hero of the story.
When we're not dealing with those fucking lizards.
Anyway,
Yeah, no. Okay.
so he's not the hero of the
We're not dealing with
story.
the fucking lizard man
And it's
arc.
about how he's like building his kingdom up. He's got to gain like the attention of all these other like factions to strengthen his force.
He's got to set up, giving resources, recruiting people.
Yeah.
He is in the background still searching for his other guildmates because he is convinced that if he keeps looking long enough, he's bound to find.
There's that little breadcrumb at the end where I'm like, hey, if we meet another one of his old guildmates, that's all I was here for. Like that's enough for me to continue through the story. Because there are moments in Overlord that feel real boring to me. Like that whole thing with Shaltir, I could not.
Oh, you mean in the first season when she had like
When she
That was
like
stupid.
won against Ainz for some
type
reason.
of brainwashing thing or
Sure.
something.
Pretty
So,
dumb.
like if it's not just, hey, we're in an isekai world and that's the whole thing I got for this entire 12 episode run, if it's like carrying on a story. That's why I like Shield Hero too. I mean, yeah, they got transported to the world. He was immediately fucking cast out from society because a girl accused him of rape. So he had to like rebuild his reputation from there. Like that was interesting to watch. That's just how I feel about it. Like
the isekais that keep you going, like how much does somebody need to hound you about a specific one? Like, do you need to hear it from multiple people, or do you need to hear it from one person going kind of like bring you a convincing argument? What would bring you to an isekai and be like, okay,
if they're like, I go by word of mouth on most things, so if I'm hearing this from multiple different sources and I trust those people, I will at least try it. But if it's like, yeah, I don't know, I watched the fucking I've been killing slimes for 300 years, it's pretty good, I'd be like, oh, like that's not even you. That's like if other people told me that same thing. Like if they were like, yeah, I watched Bofuri, Ari Ferretta, fucking reincarnated as an assassin. If multiple people were like, hey, this is really fucking good, I'd be like, okay, I'll sit down and like check it out.
Okay, so Jose, we can lie to Schirm. We can both just say like certain shows are worth watching.
Our friend Didi, I don't think he's also like somebody who has like a lot of credibility. I mean, my credibility is pretty much shot. Like I watch a lot of trash, but I will tell you when it's bad. I mean, I watched Slime. I watched Vending Machine. I watched Spider. Like, I'm not going to say that those were outstanding animes, but, a lot of them were pretty decent. But, like, I will tell you when something is absolutely horrendous or terrible, because, like, imagine if I created something like that. I'd be fucking disappointed in myself. I should, like, just be done. I should just close my laptop and just toss it into the ocean. I would, if I ever took a shot at isekai, I would want to do it differently, but seeing as how, like, a lot of isekai always just comes from Japan and it's from the perspective of the Japanese people and, like, how they're feeling, like, I get it. It's not technically for us, but that's why, like, we have things like Portal World, but, the Chronicles of Narnia, technically in Bible allegory, but you get a talking lion with the voice of Liam Neeson.
Good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Coraline, the other mother.
Coraline is fantastic.
I love
that
the movie
so fucking much, dude.
Great.
I could watch that movie over and over.
That movie, dude, I know. Me and Big Strong Man, we sleep to that movie sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like comforting. But yeah, like we have had our own takes on the Portal World isekai technically genre, but like it's always a little different. Like you see how vastly different all of those works are. But like let's say like some of them are 200 years to like 50 years apart, but we don't always do the same thing. When it comes to superheroes, sure, cuz like we have no other ideas, but Japan, it seems like they're just kind of stuck in this rut. They're kind of stuck in this rut where it's just like, man, what would I do if I got Isekai'd? I know I'd be so overpowered I'd get a harem with my cell phone, and that's what happens. And like it's just, I mean, I'm gonna continue watching this trash because I need something to have in the background.
YouTube, just put on a YouTube video, please.
No, because then I'll actually pay attention.
Just have it in the background, man. Put on a video essay.
How am I gonna wash my dishes if I'm invested in the video? Exactly. That's what I thought. Anyways,
I don't agree. Moving on.
Anyways, like, that's pretty much isekai. That's where I want to end that talk. I'm not going to bring up anything else, but let me ask you guys. Do you guys do or watch anything this weekend? Like this past week since we last met up? Is there anything interesting you want to let the people out there know that they should be on, like get on?
One Piece.
Besides One Piece.
I've been watching Osama Sentai Gokaija.
Is that Ogre King?
No.
Oh, that's a different thing.
King Oja.
King Oja.
Is King Oja the fucking Power Rangers, but they're all kings and...
Yes. I think I put
I watched a retrospective.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stupid.
Okay. What do you mean?
It was dumb.
It's not dumb.
It's
dumb. not dumb. Come on. Dude, I'm only 11 episodes in.
Also, the fact that they were like, let's use the technology Disney's been doing. We're gonna have such great looking.
Look, it
we're
does
gonna have such a
stand
great
out.
looking show.
The backgrounds stand out a lot. Don't
yeah?
get me wrong, but it's still enjoyable. Still enjoyable, man. I'm hooked on the plot.
I watched Jew Ranger. Oh,
Yeah.
I said that last week. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I watched Horror Mia, the missing pieces so far.
Do you think it lives up to that first season where like they had to cut out all the bullshit to make that first season where it's just Hori and Mia like stand out?
Okay.
Do you think if they had added that and made it a 24 episode season rather than the 12, do you think it would have worked? Do you think you would have dropped off? What do you think?
No, I would have liked it better, honestly, because you are missing like I mean, it doesn't add a lot. It's just like little skits and sketch between the characters. But
So there are missing pieces.
yeah, there's missing pieces.
Well, from what you were saying before, it just sounds like the standout thing about that is like, well, it's kind of hard to place it chronologically because it's just like,
Well, yeah, because how many years ago was Horimiya?
Like 2, 3?
I think it's been a couple.
I feel like it was 2019.
No way. We watched it when we were working.
Yeah, but
I can tell you right now, it'll probably be 2022. Hold on. Winter 2021. That would have technically came out in 2022. Or
But
yeah.
either way, like I feel like it's because we're almost 2.5, 3 years removed from that. It's like I forgot a lot of the like supporting characters, like the
Green
red
haired, red hair, purple hair.
Yep.
A lot of different color hairs.
Yep.
Pigtails, long hair, short hair.
Mm-hmm.
But do you recommend this? Should like I watch it? Because I kind of didn't want to bother. But do you think I should?
Do you want more Horimiya?
A little bit. But do I focus on Horimiya?
Are you asking
Jose,
me to answer
did
for you?
Did you put this on in the background in the dub?
No. This is one I actually like watched. I was watching it week to week.
Okay, just checking.
My favorite part was when he changed his hair up.
I'm happy for you, Jose.
Thanks.
I'm really happy for you.
That was the best
Some
part.
of us don't feel that way, but that's cool.
I don't know who
He
wouldn't.
also liked it when Snafu changed fucking art styles.
Actually, no. I was a little bit indifferent, but I do like that original art style a little bit better.
I don't hate the new art style they went with Snafu, but it was kind of jarring seeing the change.
Yeah, like Hachiman in season 1 compared to season 2, he's like just a generic character.
It's really night and day too, because he kind
He
of
had like a greenish tint to his hair.
yeah, he had a
He was-
greenish tint to his
He's
hair.
like he stood out a lot.
And then in the second season, he just looked like a guy.
Yeah, just default anime MC.
What, you guys don't like just a guy?
No,
No,
I
Oh.
like it when my characters are distinct. Probably
you
another reason why I don't watch Isekai garbage.
Because every character...
What do you mean, Sherman?
every character
has
reference
to be
the A1 studio, every main character having the same rough
has to
three
be a
faces.
self-insert character, so that way the viewer feels like it's them.
Well, Sherm, how am I supposed to identify if the main character is not a short, brown, black-haired guy with a generic face? How am I going to relate?
Is he voiced by Bryce Papenbrook? I hope so.
Probably.
Probably.
How am I supposed to relate to this obviously generic Japanese schoolboy? Like what if I want to fantasize about being a Japanese schoolboy taking my entrance exams and then I get isekai'd? Like,
Damn, my fantasy of being a high school Japanese boy is in shambles.
Doubters in shambles right now.
I'm in tears, cannot comprehend. I feel like Drake right now, losing the rap beef. Anyways, well, if you stuck around for this episode or if you got here midway, I don't know why you're here. I'm Isano Monjo, aka Jose, my two co-hosts. What's your name? What's your name?
They call me Baker.
The man made of smoke and ashes.
Yeah, that's another name for it, yeah.
This has been Isano's Den of Otakus. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully we'll have something else next week. But yeah, take care. That's a Drake reference.
Good.
I got